Rita and Veronique started as rivals, but what burned in secret became impossible to hide. Sometimes, the person you're supposed to hate is the one who sees you most clearly. Have you ever fallen for someone you weren't supposed to? Tell us your story in the comments. We dare you. I tried to end it, not because I wanted to, because I was scared. It had gone too far. The bruises she left on my thighs, the way my body ached when I hadn't seen her in days, the way my breath caught whenever her name showed up on my phone screen. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't thinking, I was burning, and I couldn't remember who I was without her fire. I called her into my office, closed the door, told her we had to stop. Veronique just stared at me, unreadable. Because of your guilt? I nodded. She approached me slowly. Her heels clicked against the floor like a countdown. Or because you're falling for me, she said. I didn't answer. She reached me and cupped my jaw, her thumb grazing my lip, the same way she had the first night we broke all the rules. You're not scared of what we're doing, she whispered. You're scared of what you feel. I'm not. She cut me off with a kiss. It wasn't rough this time, not demanding, not punishing. It was soft. It was patient. It was terrifying. Because in that kiss, I felt it. Love. Not obsession, not lust. Love. She pulled back, eyes searching mine. Tell me you don't want this. Look me in the eye and lie to me. I couldn't. She stepped away, gave me space. For the first time in months, she didn't try to dominate me, didn't try to claim me. I'll stop if you ask, she said. The silence between us was deafening. I walked around the desk, placed my hand on hers. I don't want to stop. A shaky breath escaped her lips. She closed her eyes. I was falling for you, I whispered. That's why I tried to run. She pulled me into her arms, and this time our bodies met in a slow tangle of surrender, not just to desire, but to the truth we'd buried under moans and bruises. Later, we lay in bed. No games, no power plays, just skin against skin, heartbeat to heartbeat. I want to try, I said. Veronique kissed my shoulder. No more hiding, no more hiding. The next morning, she held my hand in the elevator. I didn't let go. We walked into work together, side by side, eyes on us, whispers behind us. And for the first time, I didn't care. Because enemies may have been our beginning. But this was our truth. The door was unlocked when I arrived. Veronique stood in the center of her apartment, arms folded, dressed in black silk like she was ready for war or a performance. And maybe, with us, it was always both. I thought you wouldn't come, she said. I almost didn't. Why? Because I don't know who I am when I'm with you. She stepped closer. Yes, you do, you're mine. I swallowed hard, my mouth suddenly dry. And what are you? Her eyes narrowed. Your addiction. And God, she was right. I dropped my bag. She pushed me against the wall. Her kiss was bruising, lips hungry, tongue claiming every corner of my mouth. I moaned before I could even think, clutching at her shoulders, my body lighting up like a struck match. Her hands were everywhere, but it was the way she looked at me, like I was both her favorite secret and her greatest weapon, that broke me. You asked me to break you, she whispered. I nodded, trembling, then begged. And I did. On my knees, on her plush rug, blouse ripped halfway down my chest, I begged her. For what? She asked. For you, for your mouth, for your hands. She smiled and gave me everything. My moans echoed through the room, low, desperate, unfiltered. I stopped pretending. I stopped hiding. For once, I let myself fall, raw and reckless. When she pulled me onto the bed, she straddled me like she owned me. Her fingers gripped my wrists, pinning them above my head. You don't get to come until I say so, she growled. Veronique, I gasped. She leaned in. You love when I take control. And I did. I arched beneath her, eyes fluttering shut, lips parting in another broken whimper. I didn't care who I was supposed to be, didn't care what title I held, what image I had to protect. In that moment, I was just hers. When it was over, when my body had stopped shaking and my voice had gone hoarse from pleasure, she lay beside me, silent. I turned to face her. What are we doing? She sighed. Destroying ourselves, probably. I touched her face. Do you want to stop? No. Me neither. We were fire feeding fire, lust tied up in power and defiance, and guilt and something dangerously close to love? No. It couldn't be that, could it? Veronique kissed me again, slow this time, lingering deep. I'm not going to share you, she murmured. You won't have to. But even as I said it, I wondered, what happens when obsession stops being enough? When hiding starts to feel like betrayal? When the rivals become something even they can't control? I showed up late to the quarterly meeting, disheveled, flushed, hair still slightly damp from the fastest shower I'd taken in my life. Everyone looked up when I walked in. Everyone except her. Veronique sat at the far end of the table, legs crossed, pen tapping against her notepad, like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't just had me face down in my own bed 30 minutes ago, moaning her name into the pillow, begging her to go deeper. That morning had been chaos. She texted me at 6:14 a.m. "You're not going to wear that navy suit again, are you?" I replied, "Why? You planning to undress it yourself?" Her answer was a knock at my door, and I let her in. Again, she didn't even say hello. Just shoved me against the fridge, kissed me hard, and said, "You made me wait too long." I was sleeping. "You should have been dreaming of me." She was angry, but not with words, with hands, with teeth. She dragged me back to my room, ripped the buttons off my blouse, and left a bruise on my inner thigh with her mouth. I gasped, moaned, screamed into the mattress when she held me down with one hand and made me come with the other. I loved when she punished me. I hated how much I craved it. Back in the boardroom, I sat across from her, heart still pounding from the memory. She didn't look at me once. I hated her for that and wanted her more. After the meeting, she brushed past me in the hallway without a word. That made something snap inside me. I followed her into her office and slammed the door shut behind me. "You're ignoring me now." She didn't look up. "We agreed. At work. We're rivals. Rivals don't fuck each other 3 times before sunrise." Now she looked at me, slowly, like a cat watching its prey. "You want me to treat you like a lover here?" she said, voice low, mocking. "You want me to kiss you in front of reception, bend you over my desk during lunch?" I didn't answer, because the image made my knees weak. She stood up, crossed the room in 2 strides, and grabbed my chin. "You're mine when I say you are, not when it's convenient for your guilt." I slapped her hand away. "You don't own me." She smirked. "You're right." Then her voice dropped to a whisper. "But your body says otherwise." I whimpered. It slipped out before I could stop it. Her lips hovered near mine. "Still think I'm wrong?" I shook my head. "Then get out before I fuck you against this window." I left, barely. But that night I sent her one message. "I want you to break me." She replied with one word: "Come." I stopped pretending after the 3rd night in a row. I told my assistant I was staying late to finish reports. I told my sister I'd call her tomorrow. I told myself I wasn't going to Veronique's again. But my body had other plans. Every time I tried to resist, I remembered how she groaned when I pulled her hair, how her nails dragged down my back, how she gasped my name like a curse or a confession. I didn't need to knock anymore. I just walked in, dropped my coat, and fell into her mouth. We didn't even make it to the bedroom that time. She pinned me against the kitchen counter, lips crushing mine, both of us breathless with want. I moaned into her neck, raw and messy, and she growled like an animal. She pushed up my skirt, yanked my tights down. I gasped, clinging to the marble as her fingers slid into me without hesitation. "I hate you," I whimpered. "No, you don't," she whispered, biting my ear. "You crave me." I whimpered again, my legs trembling, and then I said it. The thing I'd promised myself I never would. "Don't stop." I came shaking. She didn't let me go. Afterward, we lay on the cold tiles, her hand still tangled in my hair, my chest heaving. She kissed my temple. "We're insane," I muttered. She laughed. "You say that every time." "Because it's true." "And yet," she said, licking her lips slowly, "you keep coming back." I rolled onto my back, staring at the ceiling. "I think I'm addicted to you." Veronique leaned over me. "Say it again." "I'm addicted to you." She smirked. Good. The way she said it, smug, possessive, it should have made me furious. It did. But it also made my thighs clench. I was spiraling, and I knew it. At work, the tension was unbearable. We argued more than ever, sometimes over nothing. "I'm not your subordinate," I snapped during a team review. She leaned in close enough for no one else to hear and murmured, "But you love it when I tell you what to do." I almost moaned at my desk. Hannah, the HR lead, noticed the shift between us. One afternoon, she cornered me in the bathroom. "You and Veronique," she said carefully. "You're different lately." "Different how?" I asked too quickly. She smirked. "You used to hate her. Now you look like you want to eat her alive." I didn't answer, because she wasn't wrong. That night, I didn't go to Veronique's. She came to mine. We didn't even speak. I opened the door. She slammed it shut. Her hands were on my face, my waist, my thighs. She shoved me against the wall, her thigh pressing between mine. I whimpered, breath stuttering. Her tongue was in my mouth, her hand sliding down, and I was already soaked. "I've been thinking about your moans all day," she whispered. I gasped as she moved lower. "Veronique," she silenced me with her tongue, and I broke. Again. Her name was always the first one they mentioned after mine. Every award, every promotion, every rumor, Rita and Veronique. Like we were a brand, or a myth, or worse, a threat. In public, we played our roles perfectly. She, the sharp-tongued strategist with lips that cut like razors. Me, the calm one, the closer, the one who always smiled while loading the final bullet. We hated each other, at least, that's what everyone thought. It started 6 months ago after a company gala neither of us wanted to attend. We'd both lost the same account to some junior rising star. And while the rest of the office drank champagne, we stood outside on the rooftop terrace, arms crossed, heels aching, spitting venom between sips of whiskey. "You're slipping," she said, blowing smoke into the cold night. "And you're still trying too hard to look like you don't care," I fired back. She smiled, slowly, dangerously. Then she stepped closer, 1 inch, 2. Her perfume hit me first, dark jasmine and trouble. I should have walked away, should have shoved her into the elevator and pretended none of this ever started, but instead, I whispered, "Say it." She tilted her head. "Say what?" "That you want this." Her eyes narrowed, lips parted. "No." Then she kissed me. God help me, I let her. We tore into each other like punishment. Teeth, nails, breathless gasps. Her hands pressed me against the wall of that rooftop, and I moaned. Yes, shamelessly, like I'd waited years to be ruined by this woman. My fingers gripped her silk blouse. She groaned into my mouth, low and hungry. When she bit my lower lip, I whimpered, not from pun, but from the sheer thrill of surrender. It was violent. It was wrong. It was the most alive I'd felt in years. After, we stood there panting, hair tangled, lips swollen, mascara smeared. The city lights blinked at us like silent witnesses. I couldn't speak, but she could. "Tomorrow, we go back to normal." I nodded, liar. That night became a sickness, and I fed it. Every meeting, I watched her lips instead of the slides. Every time she challenged me in front of the board, I got wet from rage and memory. We started fighting more and kissing more, always in shadows, always with guilt ripping holes through my resolve. But I didn't stop. I couldn't. After hours, I'd show up at her door. She never said a word, just pulled me in, slammed the door, and pushed me against it. And we'd break each other all over again. She liked control. I liked giving it to her. Her mouth on my neck made me whimper. Her fingers inside me made me tremble. The way she whispered, "You're mine, even when you pretend you hate me," made me ache with something I didn't have a name for. Then one night, after she made me moan so loud I cried from the shame, she wiped my tears and said, "We're going to ruin each other." I knew she was right, and I didn't care. I told myself it was just a phase, a slip, a weakness I could bury beneath reports and boardroom battles. But every time she walked past me, heels clicking, eyes cold, my hands shook with everything I wasn't supposed to feel. Veronique was the woman I was trained to outsmart, not crave. We fought like enemies, but after hours, we destroyed each other with kisses we swore would never happen again. I knew I had to end it, but the truth, I didn't want to. I couldn't quit her,